welcome back to the channel. Today, of course, I'm talking about WWE moving to Netflix and the availability that is on there from day one. Which, again, I have to say that it is day one, it is only January the 1st, 2025. So, a lot of this content is going to be added to. There is going to be more stuff added in the coming weeks and months, hopefully. Um, but certainly, this is a major change for WWE programming. I think it's actually a major change, genuinely, for like anybody's actual content. I don't think there is really any other really type of provider, likes of major company like WWE, who has their content almost exclusively available on someone else's platform. Obviously, as we know, WWE have come to this major deal with Netflix, and in the UK now, and as in many other countries and territories around the world, WWE programming is available on Netflix now. In fact, just less than an hour after midnight, after the new year had struck, I went on the WWE network, I on the PS4 app, went on it, and the image that has been shared a lot on social media today is the same one that appeared on my TV, where it said that WWE is now on Netflix, which is obviously the case. I will say as well, though, that in terms of adding more content, before I get to talk about what's available right now, if there are more archive stuff and content to be added, I do feel that, especially if it's advertised, it may not be available in the likes of UK until after 9 a.m. I've noticed that, especially as I kind of finish early in the morning, a lot of the stuff over the last year or so, a lot of the subscription stuff in the UK, they've gotten more later and later. Over the years, it's gotten later. From some of the content used to be available right after midnight to nowadays for some of the subscription services like Netflix or Paramount Plus, that kind of thing. Some of the content is not available until around about 9 a.m. So that is generally when it seems. I don't know whether it's a legal thing, but a lot of the content certainly seems to be made available after 9 a.m. for some of these subscription services. If they're, something's coming on, they advertise something is coming on today or Wednesday on the next day or whenever it is, then a lot of that content will maybe not be available until after 9 a.m. Hopefully, it's not the case with the live shows that will be broadcast on there. They should hopefully be, as was the case in some of the programs um, and pay per views on WWE Network when it was a standalone service in the UK. Those will hopefully be available instantly. But certainly, when it comes to the availability of content on the WWE Network from day one, again, this is just day one, January the 1st, 2025. It is mostly, pretty much all WWE content, World Wrestling Federation slash World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE content, especially pay-per-views. Um, there is a tremendous amount of pay-per-views available already. From likes of Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, which includes SummerSlam 2012. So which I appear on in the Titantron and the kind of Kevin Rudolph performance. So could I technically add Netflix star to my social media bios? Can I technically do that? Probably not, but those are available. I have noticed with the Survivor series, 2009 is not available. I don't know whether that's been a problem on the network. Is there an issue on that show or whatever? I don't know, but certainly I've noticed that looking through it, Survivor Series 2009 is not available, but there is a tremendous amount of WWE pay-per-views. Otherwise, there's also In Your House is available. There is ones from the UK-based ones like Capital Carnage, um, King of the Ring, um, um, Bad Blood, No Mercy. There is one weirdly enough that if you look in. if you kind of even enter like I'm looking at it right now, NXT. It's got a picture of Kofi Kingston in front of a various different other WWE superstars. That actually says Over the Edge. Over the Edge 1998 and 99 is available, as well as actually St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which is a decent event. The debut of Paul White, the Giant, formerly known as, and also known as the Big Show. But the there is one that's got Kofi and other superstars that says WWE Over the Edge, which that's not been a pay per view since '99 for obvious reasons. It's one I cannot still watch. But if you go into it, it does say WWE Clash of Champions. So there is some kind of screw up there. I don't think there is not every single WWE pay per view available because I searched earlier for Roadblock, which was a one off pay per view. That says coming March, so the May looks like kind of looks like really that there's other pay-per-views, any other kind of other stuff certainly coming in March. Doesn't say a date on it, but certainly the majority of the content available in terms of WWE and things like Crown Jewel as well is also there. There's a couple of highlight programs as well, Road to WrestleMania and Raw Classics, that seem to be kind of highlight programs or highlighting particular episodes of Raw and SmackDown, which I'll talk about in a moment. Other pay per views like Capital Punishments on there and stuff like that. So a large majority of the WWE content that is currently available on Netflix is the WWE pay per views. Um, that are on there again. I think it's the vast majority of pay per views. Again, Roadblock says March, but certainly a lot of WWE pay per views are available on there currently. That brings us to the TV shows, and obviously WWE has three brands currently: Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Looking at it for both Raw and SmackDown, because NXT works slightly differently, but Raw and SmackDown, for both of those, it does have the complete episodes from 2022, 2023, and 2024. So all of the episodes are actually available on there in those. So if you actually look at the Raw vault or the SmackDown vault, which is where the classic episodes are, then if you look, because if you just start searching for Raw or SmackDown, it'll come up SmackDown, it'll come up Raw live and SmackDown coming live soon. But there's WWE SmackDown Vault and there's WWE Raw Vault. If you go into there, that's where you can see those complete episodes from 2022, 2023, and 2024. Both for Raw and SmackDown before that, however, in the timeline and the history of those episodes, it is unfortunately limited episodes that are available for each year. There's little as 2, 3 to even about 10 odd episodes. SmackDown 99 is 13 episodes. But for Raw and SmackDown, anywhere going back from 2022 to the start of those programs, there is limited amount of episodes available for previous years. So that is kind of getting frustrating. There's going to be a lot of moans and complaints and moans and groans and stuff like that regarding what content is actually available. I'm not going to go through and read out what dates are available. You can look at it yourself. But certainly, looking at it, there are a limited amount of Raw and SmackDown episodes available prior to 2022. As I said, SmackDown works a little, NXT even works a little bit different from that. That it works the same in the beginning as you look at it, and I'm actually looking at it right now, where NXT for 2022, 2023, and 2024 it actually has all of the complete episodes of NXT, including the events. If you look into the NXT Vault, that again, so Raw, SmackDown, and NXT all has their same Vault category. If you look at the NXT Vault for 2024, 2023, and 2022, they have all of the episodes of NXT television, and it also has the events that happen. I don't think you can call them really premium live events. I'm not sure what the name is, but the events like New Year's Evil, it has Vengeance Day 2022, Roadblock 2022, Stand and Deliver, Spring Breakin' 2022, uh, In Your House 2022, etc., etc. For those events, it does again New Year's Evil 2023, Vengeance Day 2023, etc. For 2022, 2023, and 2024, it does have all of the episodes and special events for NXT. However, if you go back again prior to 2022 for 2021, 22, and back up to 2020, back up to 2014, that lists simply the takeover events and the special events that happened in those years. And I think there's got pretty much the complete ones because they weren't running events every month, especially to begin with. So I believe all of the kind of special events may be there. For example, 2020 has got 5 events. 2019 has got 5 events. So I think it may have probably at least most of the events. Certainly, all of the takeovers seem to be there. That I could see. I didn't get the chance to go back and kind of write a list of so that I can compare to the Netflix network, but certainly for NXT, it doesn't really have older episodes of the television program. It does have though the takeover events and the previous live special events. So if you're looking for older episodes of the actual television program, you're kind of going to be disappointed in terms of NXT. But again, hopefully these will be added to. I think many mentioned this there. I looked up Roadblock, and that says March. So maybe around about that time, we'll see maybe some of the holes filled in terms of any missing pay-per-views. There are other ones again like Wrestling Classic. There is this Tuesday in Texas and stuff like that. So there is certainly the vast majority of like the pay-per-views and um, hopefully the episodes will be filled out sooner rather than later. I don't know whether any of these kind of websites that you can see sometimes that say, about what's coming up on Netflix. I don't know whether they'll start being able to include any WWE programming in terms of what is actually going to be added there. I don't know whether they'll have for that information. But certainly for Raw, SmackDown, and NXTs, there is a decent amount of programming, but there's quite limited in the episodes if you go back in the archives for older episodes. So hopefully those will be again filled in over time. I mean, it's a bit of a difficult situation and a bit annoying situation to be in, but I guess we only have to deal with it, unfortunately. So that is what is available on in terms of pay-per-views and television shows. There's a couple of kind of highlighted shows. There's as well. There's superstar profile ones. There's legend profiles and superstar profiles. Those are just simply a few minutes limit. I think some of them are up to like 6 minutes of kind of profiles showing likes of the Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan. The superstar profiles has got people like Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley. Those are kind of like almost kind of introductory vignettes and highlight packages. showing some of the stuff that those superstars have done. So there is no other other if you, especially if you look at it, there is no other content from any other organization at the moment. Is simply WWE programs, WWE pay-per-views. There is a few WCW etc. footage used in some of the superstar profiles etc. because of people like Booker T's career, but there are current time there is no footage or no other pay-per-views or television programs from especially the likes of WCW or ECW. That again is one of the frustrating. I know few people have said, "Oh, who watches that kind of old stuff?" But there is a large majority of people, a lot of people like myself who enjoy watching the WCW stuff. You know, the pay-per-views, or I've been going back lately and watching like some of the WCW Nitro stuff. All episodes of that. I would like to see those kind of obviously being added to the network because legitimately people do watch that. You know, the Attitude Era Monday Night Wars is one of the most talked about periods of professional wrestling. The amount of podcasts, YouTube channels, and a lot of the websites that use obviously things like the network to look back at the WCW and ECW and WWE stuff at the time. There's a tremendous amount of those. So I do hope, that especially as a WCW fan, not exactly towards the exact end of it, but you know, I would like to be able to go back, especially again. You know, I don't know whether it's legal reasons, but WWE never ended up releasing any of those kind of events on DVD. I don't know whether they were unable to legally or for whatever reason, but we never got those kind of like re-releases like WrestleManias and Rumbles and Survivor Series and stuff did. Those were never ever re-released on DVD, and obviously the WWE DVD market is now done for. There is not going to be any more produced at all. So if anybody, I've got a decent collection of DVDs, but a lot of it is WWE stuff, of course, and superstar profiles. There is no there's no documentaries for superstars on here either. I've got a few of those like Undertaker ones. There's a couple ones like Kevin Owens and a few others that have been uploaded to the WWE YouTube channel. So there's a couple available there for people to watch if they do want to see them. Um, and I believe there's like a couple of real old kind of what we call UK Coliseum home video um, presentations that are also being added to the WWE network, but certainly a very limited amount of those kind of things. There's nothing like that on Netflix, but there's a very limited couple of them on the YouTube channel. WWE Vault has also got some good stuff lately, so uh, it's kind of quite annoying that the what the content is there because again obviously in the UK we've had the network for a period coming up with just shy about a week or so of 10 years, so all of that content has been available to us. There's still been gaps, and I've talked about it before about WCW Saturday night episodes, later episodes of that, going into especially the Monday Night Wars era, and some of the other WCW programming that worldwide and stuff like that that were never available. I love to see that kind of stuff being added. So right now it is WWE pay-per-views, the selection of WWE television programs that are available in a couple of superstar profile vignettes, basically that is available on Netflix. So generally, the large majority, I think, again, of the pay-per-views are available. Again, I looked up Roadblock and it says March, so maybe sometime around that they'll maybe start filling in the holes. Again, I don't know whether we'll get the information of what's coming up. I know that I think it's the was it WWE Home Video DVD UK YouTube not YouTube X account. They said they would be switching to looking at what is coming up and what's available on the WWE Network on Netflix. So whether I'm sure, hopefully we will get somebody will get the information on what's being added and when, so that we know when to expect more content on the WWE Netflix network, whatever it's going to be called. Really, so there is kind of a limit, even things like invasions on there as well. So it is kind of annoying. Again, we've had access for the past decade so to some of this content, and to have it be withdrawn is kind of going. I know there's going to be moans and groans and complaints and stuff like that about what limited content there is, and I've already seen a little bit of that on Twitter, on X, um, over the past few hours, as people start to really check out what is available and check themselves to see what is there, and what content that they want to themselves pick out and sit down and watch. And so unfortunately, this is a position we're in. I think fans are going to suffer a bit. Again, especially older fans like myself who like to watch the ECW or the WCW stuff, we really can't do that now. For I don't know how long. I'm not going to sit here and say that this time next year that'll be pretty much complete WWE Network available on Netflix. I can't honestly say that because I don't know what the timelines are. For me personally, if I was to say anything to Netflix, I would say that we need, and I think it would be great for Netflix to have the most complete WWE Network experience and availability that there could possibly be. To certain to, oh, I know again the the transfer of all of the stuff is going to take time. We know that. We all knew that coming in. That was made. I think it was made pretty clear that the transfer of stuff like that, the immigration kind of stuff, the content would take a while, and maybe it would be several months. But I would absolutely hope that they could make this the most complete WWE network that is possible. Basically, just transfer everything to Netflix. I know that a lot of people will still switching on and off their subscriptions for the likes of Rumble, WrestleMania. We know that's going to happen. People do that for different series and movies and stuff like that for different subscriptions, which I think is what part. I'm not saying that's a bad thing because I think that's personally a good thing, especially financially. You can't always swing to have every single subscription service on and be paying for it every single month. So I understand it, but I think if Netflix really want to retain subscriptions, then obviously the more content that's made available, the better. I don't know whether WWE is going to absolutely make. The rumors are that they're going to make exclusive documentaries, and I personally would like to see some of the documentaries they made over the last few years, even like the treasure stuff that when they went around looking for various different WWE memorabilia, that kind of stuff to be made available on there. I don't know whether legally they can, because there was another company, channel or something involved in making that. So I don't know whether they can, but a lot of that stuff, as I've said before on this channel, was not available in the UK, and really no way. I know there's various different websites to try and watch it, but certainly I like to see a lot of that stuff being made available on the network, and certainly in the UK, because obviously I can only talk about the UK and what's available in the UK WWE Network version that's available now on Netflix. So it's kind of a limited amount of content. Again, we knew to expect that. We knew that there would be a transference period, that it's going to take time for more of this kind of stuff to be transferred to the network. We know, we kind of, again, the fans have to just grin and bear it, unfortunately. And I know we're ones paying for it, but we kind of have to grin and bear it. We've not really got a choice. Again, especially it's annoying, frustrating for me personally, dipping in and out of the WCW Nitros and the ECW stuff and all that kind of thing. Um, and especially the superstar profiles documentaries that I watched a few of them lately. Uh, so it is frustrating. It is a limited amount of content, but again, we are talking just day one. We are, they've literally just started. So hopefully we will hear regular updates. Which again, something my final thought is, something I would certainly like to hear is that if and when there are gaps in the WWE content that are going to be filled, I certainly hope, and I'm sure on social media and stuff, we will hear, same as the any other content, movies, series that Netflix may be adding to their service, that they will add any WWE information to those updates. That we will, of course, I'm sure they will. We will get that information on when and where, and more of the WWE content, or the WCW or ECW or whatever content archive library that's going to be added to the network. Hopefully, we'll get that information updates and get to know when some more of these content updates and uploads are going to be made available to the fans. So hopefully, I'm sure we'll get that information in time. As to when they're going to be updating it, and when they say, again, like say if they say these particular movies or series are coming in March or April or whenever it is, they include the WWE info to that if they're going to be adding the content. So it is a bit of an annoying situation, obviously, again, that a lot of the content we've lost access to and we have to wait for it hopefully to be added. So it is going to be a frustrating process for fans, but it's going to be a long term thing. Hopefully, once the content is added to the Netflix network, it will remain there. I wouldn't think again that Netflix would be kind of adding and removing WWE content to it, because again, for subscribers, they want to check it out. That make no sense. I understand if they license programs and stuff, then they might have a license like a lot of the subscription services for a particular period of time. But as this is reported to be a long-term, approximately 10-year deal, hopefully all the content once it's added will remain there for the whole period. We don't know whether this is going to be a many years thing, or whether it's going to just not last, or whatever it's going to be. Hopefully, for fans' sake, it will last, or we'll have some kind of access to the network. Again, because the DVD production is gone, and a lot of the other company stuff, the WCW and ECW stuff, is not available anywhere. Again, they never issued them on DVD or anything. No episodes of Nitro or WCW pay-per-views or ECW events. They never issued them on DVD for WWE wise anyway. So it is going to be a bit of a frustrating time period, but at least we kind of know what we're dealing with. And again, hopefully, we will get that information as and when Netflix intend to add, and when they do add more content to the WWE network now it is available on their platform.